Today we're going to focus on the visual sensory system and how differences in visual processing can affect learning, attention, and behavior. As a reminder, we have 8 senses: touching, hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, vestibular, proprioception, and interoception. Today's focus is on the visual system, how the brain processes what we see. When a child is visually underresponsive, they might miss important visual information around them. This can be especially true if there is too many competing backgrounds. They might struggle to identify or match colors, shapes, or sizes, and may have difficulty with writing tasks like spacing and letter formation. These children are often drawn to bright, reflective, or spinning objects because they're seeking more visual input. You might notice these students moving or shaking their head during fine motor tasks, holding items very close to inspect them, and they might seem unaware of the happenings around them. They also might frequently lose their place while reading, and they often seek visual stimulation through spinning objects, patterns, fans, or movement. For a child who is visually overresponsive, they may become overwhelmed by visual input. Bright or fluorescent lighting may bother them, and they may squint or cover their eyes. They might seem afraid of moving objects or avoid visually busy environments. Some children may complain of frequent headaches, dizziness, or nausea, and these can be related to visual input. They might not be able to differentiate between contrasting colors or hues. And they might seem clumsy because they're unaware of obstacles in their path. These children might also struggle with depth perception or determining distance. They might prefer darker environments. They also might avoid eye contact. They can become easily distracted by movement, decorations, windows, or classroom clutter. They also might lose their place on a page because there's simply too much visual information competing for their attention. For students that are underresponsive, reducing unnecessary clutter and distractions can help them improve focus. We can also use visual supports like labels, schedulers, or picture cues can create more structure. Tools such as rulers, fingers, or spacing guides can support reading and writing tasks. Hands-on activities, such as writing in sand, paint, or shaving cream, can also strengthen visual attention and engagement. Playing visual matching games and providing access to visual fidgets can really help these students. Simple classroom changes can make a big difference. Reducing visual clutter and keeping materials organized can help students focus on the information that is most important. When I'm looking at the classroom on the left, there are a lot of distractions. Having things dangling from the ceiling might seem like a fun idea, but once the HVAC kicks in, well, these kids are not going to focus on you. Look at the difference between these two pictures. Which one do you think is more calm? And which one will you pay attention to if you are the student? We can use tape or visual markers to define spaces, and this can help students better understand their boundaries and organize their environment visually. Visual fidgets or preferred visual stimulation can sometimes help students stay alert and engaged when used appropriately. These are easy to make. I like the bottles that I find at Target, but you can make them with any clear bottles. Fill them with water and some glitter or some small plastic items such as letter beads or sea creatures. Add something to help slow the liquid down such as clear glue, clear hair gel, or dish soap. I've made some using baby oil, which worked well too. Make sure you glue the lid shut unless you want to be cleaning up a big sensory mess. For students who are visually overresponsive, we want to reduce overwhelming visual input. We can change lighting, use light covers, or reduce visual distractions. We can also seat students away from direct light, and some students might benefit from lightly tinted glasses or larger print materials or worksheets with extra white space to improve focus and reduce visual overload. It is also helpful to reduce glare from reflective surfaces. It's helpful to prepare students before you enter a bright or visually busy environment. You can reduce classroom distractions by limiting unnecessary displays, and using tools such as the ones on these pictures, such as a ruler or finger guide, can also help students keep their place while reading. Understanding visual sensory processing helps us better support students who may be struggling with attention, reading, writing, or classroom participation. Small environmental changes and supportive strategies can make a big difference in helping students feel comfortable, regulated, and successful. Thanks for watching.